Well, I can remember this all very vividly.
I was here on that day and it was about 80 degrees, which is kind of unusual for that time of year.
It was a gloomy, dark, cloudy, wind-swept day.
We're talking about some severe weather coming in late that afternoon.
On November 7th, 1996, disaster strikes. At Heaven Hill's massive warehouses, winds clock at 70 miles per hour.
I believe it was probably around 1:40 in the afternoon. I remember seeing the clock stop when the power went off.
I was down at the old distillery in the office, and then I heard somebody say the warehouse was on fire up here on the hill. So I stepped out of the office, ran out of the office and looked up, and I could see flames shooting out of the window.
Parker and distillery supervisor Charlie Downs drive up the hill to investigate, and what they see immediately triggers a full-scale evacuation.
Just sit back and watch it unfold and just kind of felt helpless,
And it just didn't take very long to see the first warehouse engulfed in flames.
No Halloween fright could ever equal this real-life nightmare. Family members and neighbors struggled to save what they could. Firefighters are dwarfed by the wall of flames. Fire and rain, too much of one and not enough of the other. Throw in wind and thousands of barrels of bourbon, and there's little anyone can do.
I've never seen anything this big.
I've never seen anything like it. It's unreal.
So they're evacuating you all now?
Yeah, out of this whole house here.
Valuables and antiques are moved out before the fire can move in.
Oh my, you wouldn't believe it. It was a fireball. You could feel the heat from up here from those big warehouses.
It was a fire rain.
It was awful.
Heaven Hill's bourbon is stored across dozens of warehouses. One by one, flames begin to swallow them.
It's kind of like a domino effect. Then when the first one collapsed, all the burning alcohol went down the hill and surrounded other warehouses. And then, of course, the distillery was all at the bottom.
Weather conditions couldn't have been any worse. The rain kept coming down and the wind acted like a blowtorch.
We saw pieces of roofs being lifted into the air and blown 300 feet.
The flaming alcohol creates a river of burning bourbon.
Then it happens. Supports holding back thousands of gallons of whiskey give way. The wall of fire becomes a river of fire.
And when we saw the racks, they call them ricks, collapse and the whiskey start to pour over the hill, and once it ran across the highway, we knew it was going to go.
More barrels explode. More whiskey flows into the 18-inch deep river heading downhill, spilling into the highway as it rages towards the main production plant.
All anyone can do is watch, wait, and wonder what this fire means for Heaven Hill and the small community that's made a way of life from the bourbon burning in its warehouses.
Firefighters aren't sure how it all started, or for that matter, when it will all stop.
Finally, around 7 hours after it started, a sudden change of wind helps calm the fire it stoked. What remains is devastation.
This is what it looks like from the sky today. Black patches where warehouses once stood. Closer, you can see flowing creeks of bourbon, skeletons of cars, melted mailboxes from nearby homes left untouched by the fire. The flames are still going, and the heat is still so intense it has turned pieces of metal bright orange.
They found debris 2 and 3 and 4 miles from here, all over town.
Today, as the shock wears off and the reality of the blaze sets in, those who call this community home begin to cope with what's happened.
The fire wiped out 15% of Heaven Hill's storage capacity. The loss of bourbon and warehouses totals a whopping $30 million.